want to get your little intake about what have you seen change from day one to now in this community. What I mean day one is like when you first came to our community to now. Pros and cons, and what do you think that
Mm.
you could change in this community?
What I seen change in the community, from beginning to now, family orientated things I've seen change in the community. I haven't seen family really sit down with family anymore. I haven't seen them really enjoying the time spending with family anymore. From now, I notice that everybody's been working towards a goal, towards a house or a car or whatever it may be. Everybody's just been working. Nobody's been spending time with each other. Because this is the problem we seem to realize in society. We don't realize that, one of the key things we have to realize what we're working for. And that's the problem what we seem to do in this society. We're not realizing what the things we're working for. We're just working.
Mm.
Working for a car, working for a house, working for a trip we need to go on, working to go hang out with our friends. That's all we're doing for. We're not working towards a actual goal, towards your community, towards what you do in life, towards what's around you. And we seem to be always preaching about something and not doing about something. We get away from the one things that we really look out towards. I come from Jamaica. I come from a background of very strong women, very strong men, very outspoken people. And end of the day, when I come to this country and I see certain things what are being done, I'm going, things are getting out of order now. Especially when it comes to the youth, them. My heart goes towards every single youth would step up on road because I see the struggle what they go through every single day. I see it because I've been through it. And I seem to try to push towards them when I see them and just have a conversation with them. What's going on in your life today? What hand do you need to be helped today with? What do you need? You need a job? You need this to look about? What do you need? And that's my thing. That's my take of my neighborhood and how I am nowadays in life. No matter who you may be, old or young, that's my take in life. I am what they call a giver. I
Mm.
give to you knowledge, I give to you love, I give to you direction, I give to you God. That's how God directs everything what he does in life. He gives. He gives and he gives and gives till it gets to a point that he's like saying, you know what? If you don't understand my gift, it's time to be away from you. You need to learn it now. And most likely, you don't want ever God not to be away from you, man. You always want him to surround you, to direct you, to show you what life's about. And that's my take towards the hood, man.
Mm. So, what big changes have you seen since you got here to today?
Big changes I've been seeing right now. I've been seeing the kids, a lot of the kids have been stepping out.
Mm.
They've been realizing certain things have been going on. They've been getting sick of it. The shooting, the killing, they've been getting so sick of it. They've been getting sick of their age group, 16, 14 years old. They're burying their best friends or they're going to a funeral of their best friends. They're getting tired of these stuff. They're getting tired of the school killing. They're getting tired of on the bus. They're getting tired of every type of stuff what's hurting them, physical and mental wise, you know, in their family, in their community. They're getting tired of it. And those are the things that I've been seeing, like, and they're ready to step out. Because more likely, as I said, me going to church has been showing me a lot of stuff. When I've seen these kids, when I seen them pray, man, they pray and they pray hard. They pray that for today. If I don't pray, you know what? I don't know what'll happen to me tomorrow.
Mm.
But I'm just praying for the best that I can do right now. And I see a lot of times I see these kids. They go out. They go out really hard, 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 hard with all their heart, because they want to change and better their life. When they're around in that atmosphere that they actually could change something, they're the most happiest. They're being kids again. They're playing dominoes. They're playing games. They're sitting with each other. They're laughing. They're talking. They're spending time with each other. They're being children. They're being young ones. They're being young adults. They're innovating. They're directing. They're doing things just like how you're doing right now. You're you're getting that little piece in your life that you actually could do something what's better towards others,
Mm.
and that's the key. When a child has this opportunity to get to grow to be an adult, that's how a child gets to be a better person in life.
Trust.
Yeah,
That's what I try to implement in my day. I do things for knowledge. I step out the box to challenge my brain. I I no, let me rephrase that. I think that nowadays, especially men, don't have their life or themselves programmed. They don't have a program to themselves. They don't have a setting to themselves. They don't have boundaries or guidelines or principle for themselves. I live by my own code. Learn, teach, repeat. I learn a new skill. I'm going to teach it to others. I'm going to learn another skill, teach it to others. Learn, teach, repeat. I do all this stuff out of love. It's not for bragging rights. It's not to be bullshit. It's not to be a showboat. I do things that I like and I love to share it with other people. I love to put people into my world. I like to show people, hey, that's fine what you're doing, but if you come to me, let's say 5 o'clock, I'm going to this art show. It's something that we don't do. It's something that we don't have in our community. But trust me, you're going to learn a whole new world. All you gotta do is take that step of faith with me. People nowadays are too stuck into the hood. They're stuck in waking up, building up, sell what they have to sell,
Drink up.
drink, eat the fast food like we were just talking about, and then go back out. Try to get a 1-2 girl and call it a day. That's their twilight zone for years. Why not switch it up? Try new things. And I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, that's a white man thing," or "That's an Asian person thing." No, things are out here to do for all genders, colors, cultures. It's not set to one culture. If that's the case, then Caribana, which should be for the Caribbeans and the Africans and all blacks around the world, should be strictly for black people in costumes. But it's not like that. We have Asians, we have white, we have Spanish, even Mexican, indulging into our culture. So why is it always an issue when we want to try other cultures? I think that we block ourselves from enjoying new things like snowboarding or skateboarding, going ice skating and stuff. This life, we gotta try stuff. You may not like it. People might call you names or try to demasculate you. Who cares? At the end of the day, you know yourself. You know your truth. You know your worth. Don't let other people evaluate you and tell you who you are, because they're not the ones that's looking at yourself in the mirror every day. They may have their opinions and he says she said about you, but who cares? Live your life. Try new things. Get out there. Talk to random people on the road. Get your voice heard. We're in a day and age where you could speak, you could be in Toronto and talk to someone in Italy or talk to someone in Japan. Just in the flick of the wrist. Why not just spread your message or send your value all across the world? Don't just be stuck in the community every day thinking that you're going to make it big. You're going to get that big deal. You're going to make that big customer, or you're going to hit the lotto. No, those are material mindset. Get out there. Do new things. Help your community out. Go to charity events. Go to homeless shelters. Give back. Do all them stuff. Trust me. It's going to humble you. It's going to open your eye. You're going to see the world in a different light. You want to try new things. You want to see new things. You want to go travel the world. You just can't be stuck into the community the rest of your life and thinking that one day you're going to make a big change or someone's going to make a change for you. Going off of that, what are the cons that you've seen from day one from now?
From now, cons right now, as I said again, the killings are seen to be the cons. Every time one little things with the youth them, what I'm noticing, everybody's has this hate thing on them.
Mm.
My thing is, what are you hating for? You're hating because I'm wearing my Jordans? Are you hating because I got this suit on? Are you hating because I got this job? Are you hating because I'm driving this car? Are you hating because I got this house? Do you know what I had to do to get all these things? What I'm talking about? You know how hard I had to get up each morning and work for these things. Each person has their own life living things, what they do and they do well at. You can't judge them towards it, and you can't put them towards it. That's between them and God. And this is our problem. We seem to like to get in everybody's business
Mm.
instead of than minding our own. End of the day, if a man have a tech to run a little thing on a boat to get it, so be. That's his business. That's between him and God. If a man gets up in the morning every single day, jumps on that bus, he goes and work his ass off, make what he needs to go and do, that's his business between him and God. So and these are the problems that we seem to be put in hand. We can't push things on people and say that's better for them. At the moment, that may be good for them at that moment because there's always a switching part in anything what we do in life. There's a time that we have to answer towards God. And this is what it is. That's what switching moment. No matter what badness and goodness you're doing, you still have to answer towards that God. And these are the things that we need to realize in life. Mind your business towards what anybody is doing in life. Please. And that's what the most important things that we need to understand. Do your thing, what works for you. They'll do their thing, what works for them. All you got to do is just show them, like, yo, that path at that moment ain't going to last you long. It might end you up into somewhere you don't want to end up into. That's all the advice you could give to a person. Otherwise, that's all what it is. Can't judge others, man. You got to allow them to do what they have to do. You have to allow them to go through certain things, allow them to learn certain lessons. But you could see them when they're going off too far of a path. You could put them on the righteous path. You could put them on a path to say, here, brethren, that no look right for you, no man. That no fit you. I remember one of my brethren did this to me, man. I could never ever forget this day. My day at a club, my brethren come up to me and goes, yo, brethren, you smoke weed? I said, wait. I say, you smoke weed? I say, yeah, whatever. He say, you have spliff? I say, yo, yeah, man, I'm spliff. He goes, yeah, I'm light up the spliff. And my brethren say, yo, man, that's not you, eh? I have only one time I see a smoke weed, you know. I see one time we try to light up weed in the back of the over in school, eh? And that's the one time you ever see me. And he goes, yo, and he looked at me and he said that day, that's not me. He looked at me. My brethren said that to
Mm.
me. You know what that did to me? That made me stop the shit right there and then. Take that one person, what I know from growing up, going through school, to show me something that's not me. And that's what a good brethren is, a good friend is. When a good friend sees that you're out of position in place, and he comes to you and he puts you in the place and say, here, brethren, that's not you. I know you're better than that. Know you're better than that. That's not your style. That's not how you are. Let's go. Straighten up. Let's go. That's how we gotta do things, man.
Mm. You have a point. If your homeboy should be somebody that knows you the most,
Mm.
if they're seeing that you're moving to left, they have the right to put you back in the middle.
Mm.
They should be your little compass. That's
Mm.
what friends are for.
Mm.
I totally agree on that point.
Mm.
But as somebody that's been in this community for decades,
Mm.
what do you think that you could bring to the table to make here a better place?
Uh, One of the key thing is a center.
Mm.
Actually, a real center, not a center what everybody could go to and whatever business they're doing. The end of the day is a youth center, a real, truly youth center. When the youth them actually, when them they in the problems or not in the problems, they could come there and actually get some advice towards working wise, job wise, living wise, school wise. One of the key things in school, what we're doing is so backwards, is teaching these kids not to add and subtracting is great, but what are you adding and subtracting towards? What are you reading towards these books towards? What are you reading these novels of love stories towards? Is it benefiting you in life? These are all these things. What are we learning in history? All these little things, if they're not benefiting the things in life, it's just a waste of time. And this is why these kids don't like to stay in school long or do certain great things in school. When they find something they actually like, the end of the day is one of my thing. I went to Westview, and one of my thing we had a media English teacher, and let me tell you, this dude was the baddest dude I could ever tell you. So whatever was going on in media, he made sure and give us a good directive to do in school. Those kind of things are good programs to set up because what it is, because what's going on in the news, now the kids have a good idea what's going on in life. So these are the things that we need to get into kids is what's going on in life, not what's going on around the world or whatever thing is. Why is what's going
Yeah.
on in life? That's the problem. Is everything what you need to go and do. You need the kids to get investment. You need the kids to start to do things towards their programs. Start to do for saving. Start to put away things for long run. Start for their benefits. Everything. These are the things we don't. Kids don't even know about. We're teaching them backwards. I don't mean for just one generation, I mean for all generation. We're teaching these kids backwards. That's why a lot of them don't want to be in school. That's my take towards what's going on in society right now. It needs to change up with those things. A community center what actually helps them out in the direction of changing their mindset, not just bringing them down. Need to change that mindset of them, man.
True. Um, I don't think school teaches kids life lessons. I think school should have like an investment course or mental health issue course, better fitness classes, starting from elementary to high school. College, you're on your own to what field you want to go to. But even college and universities itself, that's a bigger hustle. I'll get into that later on. But from elementary, for some people that with the public schools, you have middle school, then high school. Catholic is from elementary school to high school. So from those stages, they should have a nutrition class, investment class from young. Let's say grade 4, going up, you learn how to invest and save your money. Art, I think art should be key. If I had a chance to build my own school, it will be from daycare until grade 12, the whole school, and a little adult side for people that want to learn new skills and trade. Each kid should learn one martial art, whether it's kickboxing, boxing, mixed martial arts, whatever. They have to learn two arts, let's say dance or music, and a science. And they have to choose either one or two sports to get in. That is the minimum requirement. Because by doing that, you get to express yourself more. You get to express yourself via your martial arts, your physical arts, is it painting or music, science, you can learn about your body and whatever, and through sports. So you're not just stick into one field. You have other sources to express yourself. I think people are too laid back and too comfortable in doing one. If I have the money and the space to make that school, I'll make it happen because learning an art teaches you meditation. It calms you. It shows you your inner self. You gotta learn how to defend yourself. Why not learn boxing or even fencing or aikido? You know what I'm saying? Just to make your mind disciplined. All this is to teach your body art, meditation, martial arts, the discipline, sports, the education. You need those pillars to build up your body. A lot of people are just stuck onto one pillar and don't develop the rest. That's why you see people that are great athletes but are terrible communicating or expressing themselves with their emotions. Yeah, art people that are visually intrigued and have a lot of knowledge but cannot defend themselves physically and verbally. You need to have a whole balance. You need to learn how to move. If you stick into one field, you're not going to develop your body correctly.
You're in the jail.
Yeah.
It's just like no freedom. You don't get that freedom part of things what you do. You just like you're locked up in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we live now, man.
You lock up in their house.
It's either you go outside, try to have fun,
Yeah.
for like, but by doing that, you could get shot,
Yeah.
robbed, or whatever.
You're locked
So
up.
that's why people stay inside and
Yeah.
go crazy.
Yeah, you're locked up in jail, man. I'm telling you, every single time, and that's what it is. No matter where you live, if you live in a building, it's even worse, because when you come downstairs now, all you see is man them hang out at a corner and thing wise. I do them local thing and stuff wise, and you're like, yo, Bray, like literally, and some of the man them don't even live in the damn building. Some of the man just pass through and do their local hustling there, and they have their big house or whatever place them have their setups. It's crazy, man. This world has been coming backwards and backwards and backwards, and we're not doing anything about it. And it's not just a black thing no more. It's a thing. Period. Because it's rolling in every society and everything what's going on in life. Every single society is gonna get a piece of this. Indian, black, Chinese, every single one of them gonna get the same kind of thing wise with this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you move.
It's crazy, man.
I'm telling you, a lot of things need to change, and the way of changing it is by doing something about it. And a lot of times we sit here and we talk about it, but the end of the day is by talking is just letting words come out, but with no action.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to get into that community kind of setup, man. Like how used to certain things, like community center that we get to have centers that we talk together and do some actions about the things that are going on. Our government's only limited to certain things what they could do because they can't know everything. So community has to step to the government and say, here, this is what needs to be done. These are the things what we need to change, and we're going to change it as a community, not as a self-bought person. It has to be a community change things.
But that's the thing. There is no community anymore. Like they'll say,
Mm-hmm.
this is community of, for us, for example, Hammer Summit.
Mm-hmm.
But do we see the progress of Hammer Summit? No.
No, man, they close it. All they do is right now the centers what they set up. It's for the elderly people, the people that really what will use them more than us. The young people
Yeah.
don't use those things no more because the young people have got those things pushed to them no more. Nobody steps out of stone and go here. Guess what, guys? We have a community center down by here. We have some programs going on. Nobody's as it, back in the days it used to be big brothers.
Mm.
There's no really a big brother or a big brother what's out on the block what's showing the young ones here. Here's a better way of living, a better way of life. And it's a hard thing because a lot of times now some of us big brothers are working 2 or 3 jobs, so we
Yeah.
can't do all this stuff. So
Like I said, it's not a. I'm not trying to say it's agreed or learn the hard way. I believe it's our generation, like my generation, going down,
mm-hmm.
too arrogant
Mm-hmm.
to the point they don't want to hear from previous generation of how to move, how to work. Because we're the generation that thinks that we know it all
Mm-hmm.
and we seen it all
Mm-hmm.
and we know how to do everything without nobody's help. So when the older heads are talking to us, it's doesn't go through. It's just like, shut up. We have the internet.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need you.
Yeah.
But you need somebody that's live to help you out,
Yeah.
and somebody that's older
Been
than you
been through it.
to show you the ropes.
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of people in my generations have too much ego and pride to go seek help. They think
Mm,
they are the solution to everything,
mm,
which is stupid. If
mm,
somebody is willing to give you knowledge,
mm.
take it.
Yeah.
You may not agree with them at the end, but as long as you soak something in their words,
Mm,
go with it. Like for
mm,
me, I have three generations of females:
mm,
great grandma, grandma, my mom. All three of them been through some hardships in their
mm,
life.
mm,
It's easy knowledge, especially with my great grandma
mm,
in her 90s.
mm.
She's seen a lot.
Yup.
90s. She's in her 90s, talking and everything.
Mm,
That right there is a lot of knowledge I could soak in. She could tell me how life used to be for her as a child, how the how it's hard to get a job and
mm,
being, let's say, a relationship,
mm,
house duties, power back
mm,
in the day. Like, how was power? They
mm,
didn't have no TVs like we have now
mm,
or cell phones. That's like futuristic stuff for them.
mm,
They really were in the field, hands, touching everything, working hard. That
mm,
era's gone nowadays. I'm not saying we don't have farms, whatever, still, but it's mostly manufactured by robots. Like
mm,
it's all machines doing
mm,
everything.
mm,
Her generation is 100% human labor.
mm,
Then you have the grandma, same thing, but technology got a little bit better. It's not as hard as her mother used to work, but it's still hard coming through. You still gotta deal with racism, segregation, being a black woman in a male dominated field, especially being black. It was hard.
mm,
Grinding, 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 grinding. Now you have a daughter. Still gotta deal with racism every day, but the labor and the hard work, 100% human labor, it's not there as it was in the past two previous generations. Technology is way much better. It's easier to move around. It's easier to communicate with people across the world. But that's still a lot of knowledge seeping through the three generations. Now it comes to me. Great grandma could tell me how to get dinner, you have to kill the livestock, you know? You have to go farm everything to make Sunday dinner. Grandma could tell me clothes, we had to sew it ourselves. We made our own clothes. We fixed it up and stuff. And then mom could tell me, yeah, I had to work my ass off just to support to where you are right now. A lot of kids aren't really taking that in. They're not soaking up that information. So it's a disconnect. I think it's 50-50, but I'll say my generation started a war, if you want to call it a war. They're the ones that didn't want to seek help from previous. They didn't want to
Save
save. They
money.
didn't want to. All they
Yeah.
want to do was turn up or do things
Right
to
now.
please
Right now.
females or whatever. It and then on the flip side, with the previous generation, we have no respect. So they just wipe their hands clean from us, which is I get it. They didn't do it out of spite or anger. They did it out of
No,
love.
understand.
It's end of the day, it's love. It's like, okay, you think you know it all. Okay, you go out in the world. Come back to me 5 years. And a lot of these people come back in the 5 years, and I want the knowledge now. Teach me now. Sorry, too late. You already trapped into the system. The same system that we were trying to help you come out of. Now you want our help. Now you want to seek our guidance. Why should I help you now?
And the reason why you should help now, because at the end of the day is, no matter what time they come to you, you need to give them that helping hand. It's just like you coming to God and you're asking God for something. And God's always been trying to tell you that these are the things what you need to do to better your life. All you got to do is listen to the words, what's being spoken to me, and follow those words. That's what God says.
Mm.
And a lot of times we seem to seek away from the one simplest things what he says. Just listen. Just listen to me. Listen to my words and follow my words and watch the difference it'll make in your life. No matter what age you are, no matter what creed you are or what time you've been living, you have to understand you need to listen. Because the elderly ones, why the reason why they've been through all that is because they didn't listen at their time. It's the same thing with the young ones. They're not listening to their time, but at the end of the day, they're going to become a day that they have no choice. They have to listen. Because only two places you're going to end up. You're going to end up in prison or you're going to end up dead. Choose one of them. Either one, I don't want to choose none of them. The one place I want to be is something to be alive, to be a helping hand towards others, and be a better thing towards my family. And I think that's one of the key things what the young youths need to get in their head. The end of the day is just come to your parents or whoever adult you could get to and just listen. Listen.
They don't want to listen, man.
Yeah.
Um, Arrogance and pride. Those are the big two, I'll say, weaknesses that my gen and newer have. At times, I've been kind of arrogant, I'm not gonna lie. But I didn't want to have the cookie cutter knowledge. For me personally, I like to fail to see where I could improve in different places in my life. So they could tell me, don't invest my money there or don't spend my money doing this and that. I hear them, but I want to see what I could reap from my actions. I make myself in the place where I'm at. Nobody has never put me in this place. All my actions, even non-actions, made me to the person I am today. I have guidance to show me how I move, yes, but the end result and the end the choice, that's all me. But what's my generation? They love to blame you, even though they shouldn't be blaming you. They be like, "Hey, I need advice, let's say about a job, and what's your take about it?" Or the gen be like, "How much you gonna make? Is it close to your house? You gonna do it?" They go, "Yeah, it's not that far. Probably like a 30-minute drive, and the money's great." Then they get the job, and it's not what they pictured in their head. It's a lot of yelling, it's a lot of labor, it's a lot of paperwork, and this and that. And then they'll come back to the person that they could find it in and be like, "Hey, why did you need to tell me it was going to be like this?" Like, it's stupid, whatever.
Life ain't easy.
They're still going to blame the person that's trying to encourage you. You can't, um, the older generation, they can't win. It's like you come to me for guidance. I gave it to you. I gave you the pros and the cons. Now you have to choose if you want to go do it. You did it. You didn't like it. You cannot blame me that you didn't like it. That I think that is one of the biggest weaknesses that we have. We love to toss the blame onto others and not onto ourselves. What's your take on that?
My take on that is like, it's not really blaming, it's more something that you're knowing. And the thing is, what we take away from each other, especially the young ones, I notice that with a lot of them, It's not there. They have nothing else to show towards to say towards what life has been given them. Everything they've been pretty much given to, like video games, TV screen, whatever they need, they've pretty much been given. They haven't earned it. They haven't worked for it, hard for it. They haven't did really nothing hard for it. Their parents have did the hard work for it. And the thing is, by doing all that extra work for it, you don't really realize how precious those little things what your parents has worked hard for you to give you. And that's what it seems to be the little slipstone. When parents gives the opportunity child for a child to actually grow up into things, like to do things for themselves, to pick up a wearing shoes. I remember me as growing up as a young youth. At the end of the day, my first Jordans, what I got. Oh my goodness, it was the best thing I ever did. I worked a job, one of my first job, my first check, I went to go and pick up a pair of Jordans, $100 and something pair of Jordans, black and red tip. I'm telling you, it was the best feeling I ever
Hmm.
had. Nobody had to pay for that shoes for me, but that's how that kind of feeling it was. And I understand that the hardest thing for these young youths nowadays, what happens, is the ones that are out there, what are actually getting, are getting by good. And the other ones that are out there, what are struggling, they're trying to get the goodness too, but they're struggling by doing their little hustles and whatever things they need to go and do. And that's a difficult thing because they're looking at things and going, my brethren has a pair of Jordans. He has a brand new Jordan, 50 something, 150, 250, 300, them kind of big money. And they're like, what? That's crazy. That's big, big money you're paying for shoes. Then the next one here out the door now, he's living on a under thinking he's not making his parents not making she's working two jobs, he's not making enough money, he's trying to figure out how to get this, and he has to do the hustle to get his money to go and do that thing he was. And that's what seems to be the hardest thing. Everybody's looking at everybody's things. Everybody got to realize that we're all is not in the same boat.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We're all in different lifetime spaces. We all have different goals to set in our life. And one of the key things that young youths have to understand, it's a goal you have to set for yourself. Each day, each year, each time of your life, you need to set a goal for yourself. One of the key things of setting a goal, you got to better yourself. Not just yourself alone, you got to better yourself around your family, better yourself around the people around you, better yourself around all the things around you. Because that's how life is going to start to better yourself. And that's how you're going to keep yourself out of prison. That's how you're going to keep yourself from getting dead. That's all I got to say for that.
Hmm.